Hey everybody, it's Peter from Vital U. I'm an ADHD health coach, and this topic is all about the nutrition pillar, and it's important for ADHD. This is important to me specifically because I'm actually in a master's program and working on completing it, and it's focused on nutrition and exercise physiology. It is made specifically because I have been researching this throughout my studies. I wanted to make sure I could function better without medication. Um, I don't have anything against medication. I just prefer to do what I can for myself without any other stuff in my system the best I can. Yes, there's stuff I take when it comes to supplementation and things like that, but I do my best to have other systems in place. But that being said, if you have ADHD and you're taking medication and that is working for you and your doctor's recommending it and stuff like that, please listen to your doctor. I have a minimal, mild case of ADHD to where I've already developed systems and coping mechanisms to where I am able to function without it. Okay, that being said, enough about me. Let's get into it. So, there's a variety of what can be said about nutrition, but overall, the importance for nutrition is the most troublesome portion is snacking. And I'm going to have a specific video about this, but when you're able to focus on some of the things I'm about to say in this video, it will help overall the hunger portion of what you feel so you're not as likely to binge throughout the day. There's other things that can cause it. The importance of nutrition for ADHD is overall helping our brains function better. It can help stabilize blood sugar levels, which will help us prevent energy crashes and help maintain energy and focus. That being said, brain health and function. Essential nutrients support cognitive functions and neurotransmitter production. There are a lot of vitamins and minerals that are specific in those biochemical reactions, and we want to make sure that we're getting those. There are some things that we just don't have a part of our brain, and that's where some medications come in. But overall, if you're feeling better, you're not going to be as emotionally reactive either. So take that into effect. Mood and behavior regulation is another thing. A balanced diet can help regulate mood swings and impulsive behavior to where you might be able to focus better. I will tell you this, focusing on protein and getting fiber is helpful for most brains anyway, but increased protein is helpful for our brain specifically, and fiber is going to help regulate the absorption of our sugar too. Fiber, most people are deficient in. I think it's like 34 to 36 grams of fiber a day for men and 24 or 26 for females a day. And most of us aren't getting it in. So not only is it helpful for an ADHDer, it's helpful for the normal person too, right? Getting that in, though, is a helpful way to help make sure you're feeling more full. If you're having a troublesome time with losing weight, this is something that will help you feel fuller longer, but it will also allow you to have a higher thermic effect. The increased protein will too. Okay, so let's go into some helpful, healthy snacking tips. Focus on snacks that are rich in protein and fiber to stay full longer, and make sure they're more accessible to where it's more of a grab and go thing. It's recommended to have 7 to 13 servings of fruits and veggies a day. So having handheld fruits available, like apples, plums, nectarines, peaches, pears, things like that, is going to be helpful for you to where you can just grab it and eat it. That way it's there. Having pre-prepped nut bags, to where you get it from the store and you could just grab it and munch on it. Those are two things you didn't really have much to do there. That is a way to get your fruits and veggies in and those servings towards the goal of 7 to 13. But if you're only getting 2 a day, I recommend just doubling it or just adding a serving so you're not on the toilet forever. Because if you increase your fiber right away, that toilet's no fun. So avoiding having too much sugary snacks in your environment. Very easy to get that helpful craving and then just keep divulging into it to where now you have had the whole bag. So keeping the temptations out of reach, out of mind is very helpful. and having the more healthy snacks to where you're focusing more on the whole foods in reach, to where you're helping set up your environment and visual cues for success with that. I personally don't get the snacks until the weekend, to where I try to make sure I only get a one serving snack, and I give it to myself on the weekend because during the week I work more and I want to be as functioning as possible. You can make substitutions to where if you're craving something sweet, you get something that tastes sweet, but it's more of a whole food. My choice, grapes. If you want to do dried fruits, that's fine. If you want to do popcorn, that's fine. Just try to make sure the popcorn, if you're doing it, you get those kernels, and then you can season it the way you want it, because the oils are the stuff that add the calories. Now, although my approach, I like to focus on fiber and protein and tracking that. I'm not a calorie counter myself, but I am mindful around it because a lot of stuff does have calories, and we want to make sure we're not putting our health at risk. So some examples of more whole foods are nuts and seeds. Now, the thing I like about these is also they have omega-6s and omega-3s. We want more omega-3s for our brain, though, with ADHD. Whether you supplement with it, whether you get it from fish, or whether you get it from nuts and seeds. Some that are high are chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, I believe hemp, and then in addition, usually the fattier fish, so salmon and barramundi. It's a white fish, and it's surprisingly affordable, and some other things like that. You can feel free to look it up. Fresh fruits and vegetables. You can even have those pre-made spreads, although like hummus and guacamole, just be careful with them because they can add up pretty quickly. You can have yogurt, you can have dairy, you can have all that stuff. That's not necessarily bad for you unless you're allergic to it. Just pay attention to how your body reacts. There's a lot of food fear people to where it's fear-mongering. At the end of the day, if you're out of emotional regulation and you're getting scared of certain foods that you enjoy, you're just going to feel bad about eating it and then eating it more. And I don't want that. So it's okay to have some foods that may not be the best for you if it helps give you a mental state of mind. It's just about being mindful of how much we're having of it. So let's go into more food textures. So certain textures you might enjoy a little bit more. Whether it's crunchy, smooth, chewy, or creamy, this can make your food more enjoyable. At the end of the day, we want it to be more enjoyable. If you're craving something crunchy, say instead of crackers, you end up having carrots or nuts or seeds. If you wanted something smooth, instead of having ice cream, maybe you have yogurt or a smoothie. Instead of having something like candy and you're craving something chewy, maybe you have dried fruits. If you're craving something creamy, maybe you have a nut butter and you sweeten it a little bit. It's all about setting up these replacements to where you don't have to replace everything, but replace a lot of the stuff to be more whole food based. If you're craving something sweet, I get a lot of sweetness from fresh fruit. Like my go-to thing for a while was apples. I just grabbed an apple all the time. So we had like 2 bags of apples a week, Now that I'm paying for the groceries, that's not the case. But I do it more with grapes, or I like lychee or rambutan, things like that. And it helps get me my motor sensory thing with it, to where I'm just grabbing something too, to where it's stimulating. Dark chocolate that is more focused on the higher cacao content, so 70% and above. What I will say about this is be mindful of how much you're having, and if chocolate's a thing for you to where you just can't control yourself, then don't have it. But there's also other things you can do. You have homemade energy balls or bars with dates and nuts, things like that. There's RX bars. You can have smoothies made with frozen fruits and a splash of honey. Honey, maple syrup, stevia. Stevia is from a fruit, and it helps sweeten things without calories. Sweeteners aren't necessarily bad, by the way. There's not enough studies to suggest that. At the end of the day with this, you want to set your environment up for success. And you can do that through meal prepping. If meal prepping is not your thing, you can hire a meal prep service or trade services with a friend. whatever it is you want to do to get around it. But having a plan and preparing in advance, you know you're going to get hungry. Well, it's nice to just have a meal you can grab and go. Whether it's a sandwich or a more complex meal, plan and prepare meals in advance to ensure that you're actually getting a more balanced diet, saving time and reducing stress during the week. I pick 2 days. So usually it's a Sunday and then it's a Tuesday or a Wednesday. That way I have 3 meals prepared or 3 days of meals prepared. And then there's 1 or 2 days in which I just don't have any prepared and I make it as I go. And that's where I get a little creative. Otherwise, I keep kind of the same meal for the other things. It's really easy to do it through sandwiches, to have maybe overnight oats or stuff like that. Make it as easy as you can for yourself to where you're getting all your nutrients in. And you can pick kind of what you want by having a grocery list. If you know you just don't like cooking, you can buy some of the pre-made meals at the stores too. It ends up being cheaper than just going to a restaurant and having all this binge, and it wastes your budget, right? So that's another way that you can improve your finances. So choose recipes and make a grocery list, or you can use a method I like to use called A plus B plus C equals D, sprinkle in some E. I'll go in more in depth in that in another video, but essentially it's you have your protein, you have your fruits and veggies, you have your carbs, and then you sprinkle in some things for flavor, whether it's a little bit of oil or seasonings or condiments, whatever it is. Make sure your snacks are prepped in advance too. You know you're going to snack, might as well have it there so you have a better swap for it. Setting times specifically for when you're going to eat. I am very structured in this to where breakfast, it's around 7 to 9. Anywhere in that time, I like to give myself a range because sometimes I'm just not hungry until the later portions. Lunch is anywhere between 11 and 1. Usually it's around 12 on the dot. And then dinner is around 5 to 6 for me. This may range differently for you and your work demands. I'm a personal trainer. I set my clients around the schedule, but also sometimes I have to make exceptions and move mine around a little bit. That's why there's ranges. Organize your kitchen to be more visible to the things that are helpful. Maybe use paper plates or disposable meal prep containers if you just don't like doing the dishes. That's going to be helpful in the long term to keeping things clean and organized so you at least have your food set up. Maybe you ask a friend to do that for you and you do a service for them, whatever it is. Maybe your partner helps you out. There are meal prep services, and I mentioned it earlier, and some of them can be decently affordable compared to going to a restaurant. At the end of the day, support your environment for success, eliminating your distractions, eat mindfully without screens or multitaskings. I get how this can be hard, but maybe one meal or one portion of the food, you're more mindful with it so you can see when you're full or not, see how the food is affecting you. Setting the regular eating schedules, having the foods in your kitchen that are healthier and keeping the things out of reach that are not, whether you just go to the store on the weekend to have your treat or whatever as a reward for getting through the week, keeping the more healthy options as visible to you as possible to where maybe your drawer is more clear with the fruits and veggies that you have your handheld fruits in or whatever it is. And having clear meal prep containers in order to identify prepared meals and snacks. Okay, so I've been going on for quite a bit. At the end of the day, we want to emphasize the role of balanced meals, healthy snacks, and food variety. Prioritizing protein is a huge thing, and improving your fiber intake by getting 7 to 13 servings of fruits and veggies in a day. Begin with the small changes, like meal prepping or choosing healthier snacks or swaps. Staying consistent, and it's okay if you fall off the bandwagon. You can get back on. It's not the end of the world. Okay, down in the comments, please share what your biggest challenge is with food when it comes to your nutrition pillar. I want to see what content I can make to help you more. If you have any questions, I am an ADHD health coach, and I made a program specifically towards this called the ADHD Healthy Toolkit. It's basically creating a healthy ADHDer. Feel free to send me an email if you're interested in it. Admin@vitalu.org. Don't worry, I'll put it in the description. You can reach out to me there if you're interested, and we'll get you all set up. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you liked this video and you want to learn more as we get more in depth on these topics for creating a healthy ADHDer. And please comment down below what you would like to see more of this topic. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.